a lot of women think that, oh, if they were a man, they'd be the perfect man, right? Like that. They think, oh, men ain't shit, men need to step up, men, this, that, and the third, right? But how many women have actually put themselves in a man's shoes? How many women have actually walked within the shoes of a man? Not too many, fellas. Not too many. But today I have here a clip of a woman who actually lived the male experience. And we're going to see how she felt after walking in the shoes of a man. You know what I'm saying? The empathy, the realization of what it's like to actually be a man, and what ultimately ended up happening to her once she finished her, I guess, trial or experiment of being a man. Without further ado, man, very important. Let's hop straight in. Let's hop straight into it.
Because we don't have testosterone in our systems, we don't understand how hard it is.
Throughout the project, Ned dabbled in the art of picking up a woman.
Where'd your friend go?
We went with him to this bar wearing hidden cameras.
It's my friend JC, I'm Ned.
Nora was reminded that in this arena, it's women who have all the power.
We sit there and we just with one word, no, will crush someone. And the thing is, we don't have to do the part where you cross the room and you go up to a stranger and say the first words. And those first words are so hard to say without sounding like a cheese ball or sounding like a jerk or whatever else.
Barbara.
That's very true, bro. These days, though, I will say a lot of women are approaching men, but, it's not necessarily the same because men don't necessarily have their guard up when a woman approaches them, right? Well, no man really has his guard up unless he's in a situation where, like, I don't know, if he's walking in the street in down in Las Vegas or something, and there are a bunch of night workers who obviously just want to get paid and shit like that, then yeah, it's like you're gonna be, like, okay, what the fuck does she want? But in an average setting, in a bar setting, in a average a city, like your guard isn't gonna be up when a woman just approaches you. Whereas with a woman, her guard is always gonna be up for the most part, unless you're in like a church or something, when a man approaches her. So there's a lot of barriers you already have to like break down when interacting with a woman, and you almost have to prove yourself, right? It's like that, y'all know that jester meme of the queen sitting type shit, and then like the guy is just over here doing that goofy shit. It's almost like that. So like, yeah, it's not the same, really.
Was trying to dispose of Ned before her friend returned from the bathroom. Nora, as Ned, also went on about 30 dates with women, mostly arranging them on the internet.
Did you have any fun?
Rarely.
She says the pressure of Ned having to prove himself was grueling.
My prejudice was that the ideal man is a woman in a man's body. And I learned, no, that's really not. There are a lot of women out there who really want a manly man.
That's very true, man. Very, very true. And like, yo, listen, how do I know this, bro? Look at a lot of left-leaning women, right? Liberal women and stuff like that. They don't like the idea of having a real soft, feminine guy, because a lot of those guys tend to be liberal. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody. I consider myself more liberal than I am a conservative, but a lot of guys who lean more towards the left are not what you'd consider like super masculine. You know what I mean? Some people are real dainty, and some women fuck with that shit. They fuck with the feminine guys, but at the same time, there's a side of them that wants some roughness. You know what I'm saying? They want some roughness that they can't really get unless they, cross that border over to the right. You know what I mean? And I don't want to make this political, but I'm just saying, like, when we look at, when we compare the two sides, a lot of men that are considered masculine, right? Like real macho guys, they're like in a different spectrum to where like dude, I'm just fucking whatever, bro. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Nora thought the perfect end to her 18-month saga was to join a men-only therapy group.
They don't get to show the weakness. They don't get to show the affection, especially with each other. And so often all of their emotions are shown in rage.
Nora began to empathize with the fear and stress men feel for having to
either rage or sex, bro. Either rage, because those are only two avenues that a lot of men, have been granted access to feeling. So it's either you get your emotions out through rage or you get it out through sex. Very few times are men permitted. Nowadays, it's starting to change though. But very few times are men permitted to express emotion without feeling some kind of judgment or shame around it. So that's why you either get one of the two extremes. You either get a guy who's always angry or a guy who's hypersexual, because those are the only two avenues that they feel safe in expressing their thoughts and, well, maybe not their thoughts, but just their emotions in general.
Always be the strong provider. In the final ritual of the weekend, the men were to act out the problems unearthed at the retreat with a partner.
And you asked that he harm you.
Yeah, I did. At that point, I was starting to really kind of crack up. I was really...
You were asking this guy to cut
me. So self-mutilation is very much a female thing, and I think it was my way of paying the penalty.
Nora was not harmed physically, but she continued her emotional descent, and a week later checked into a hospital with severe depression. Identity, she concluded, was not something to play around with.
When you mess around with that, you really mess around with something that you need that helps you to function. And I found out that gender lives in your brain, and I really learned that the hard way.
But her views about men have changed forever.
Men are suffering. They have different problems than women have, but they don't have it better. They need our sympathy, they need our love, and they need each other more than anything else. They need to be together.
That is honestly probably one of the most true things ever. Unfortunately, men don't allow, basically don't allow spaces amongst themselves to, express themselves, similar to female groups. I wouldn't say we need to go as far as they do with, expressing everything and, revealing everything about yourself. But there are certain things, and this will, I'm proud to say, like in my circle of friends, if we're going through something, like we express that with one another, man. You know what I mean? Like somebody's gone through like a breakup or a death in the family, or they just been feeling down. We don't have a problem with telling each other that, and I think that's more noticeable within newer generations now, like Gen Z, maybe even a little bit of like the later millennials and Alpha, Gen Alpha that's coming into the situation right now. We've been brought up in a world where it's been a little more acceptable to do something like that. But older generations, like the older millennials and, generations prior to them, that's not their world, bro. Like they connect through sports, and, some people within our generation now can only really, express themselves through like sports and, a hella macho shit. But, it's getting better. But we do need we need to cultivate spaces within male friendships and male groups where it's okay for you to express certain things without being judged by your own counterpart, bro. Because, dude, like we're human, we're all human, but we've been conditioned to, feel a certain way about certain things just because we're men. You know what I mean? And I don't think it needs to be that way.
Do you think women understand what it's like to be a man?
Not at all. No clue. No idea.
The irony is not lost on Nora that it took a trip into manhood to help her appreciate her own femininity.
I'm so much closer to myself than I ever was, that I really like me. I really like being me, and I really like being a woman.
She ended up killing herself after like a year and a half of this because she said she was treated so horribly by women that she couldn't even believe that this is how men lived. And I was like, no fucking way. But I can see it. I can see that you guys don't speak up. You don't say the things that we need to hear because you want to love us. You want to support us. You want to be there for us. But you guys are supposed to be the strong one. Yeah. You're supposed to be these things, and yet we've been fighting to be your equal, fighting to be the alpha, fighting to be, and out of kindness, you guys are stepping back, but it's a losing war for both of us.
Yeah. Hey man, that is some real shit, dog. Some real shit at the end. Listen, shout out to Nora, man. R.I.P. She must have been going through some real hardship, real mental battles for her to ultimately, taking her life. Only not too long ago either, 2022, July 6th, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her, you know what I'm saying? I hope, she's in a better place and stuff like that. But yeah, bro, not too many women will want to live this experience as a guy. In fact, I would go as far as to say if any woman went through what Nora did, if they did that full 180, go like a month plus, trying to live in the world of a man, oh shoot, rude awakening, especially by other women. You would come to, because you have to understand, even a woman that's slightly above average in looks, her male counterpart is gonna be uglier than that. You know what I mean? Not only that, she's not gonna know how to walk the walk as a man. If you're a feminine woman and you try to convert yourself into a man, you ain't pulling no bitches, bruh. Real talk, man. You ain't pulling no hoes, you ain't keeping no hoes, you're not smashing nobody. Half of these women, if they try to, fuck with a woman, an attractive woman, after converting into a man, shit, good luck, bro. You're gonna be a virgin. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a lifelong male virgin. You know what I'm saying? Until you go back to being a woman, and then basically, shit, all you gotta do is just go out in the street, open your legs, and some nigga will hit it. You know what I'm saying? So that should kind of also paint a picture as to why men are they go easier, right? Like they're easier to smash because, like, dude, men kind of understand it's harder to get women. You know what I'm saying? I do want to see more men raise their standards when it comes to who they date. You know what I mean? In regards to women, not just going after whatever they can get. Nothing pisses me off more than seeing a guy who's like above average in looks and he's fucking on some girl that's like, it's like, if we're being honest, bro, you should not really be engaging with this person. But it's like at the same time, dude, like, shit, oftentimes that dude is, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's just like the biological male, how would I put it? The biological male hormones that's just impacting his decision making to where he's like, dude, I just gotta smash what I can get. It's like, dude, like, I mean, it's never that serious, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like people should be going after people that are at their level, you know what I mean? But yeah, all that being said, man, I know I'm just kind of yapping right now, but no woman would want to be in the position of a man. And I have to be honest, I don't think I'd want to be a woman either, but hey, this man shit, it's hard, it's difficult. We definitely have to do more in terms of proving ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I think the world we live in today isn't necessarily geared towards allowing the average man to excel. I think if you're a top percentile type of guy who's within networks of other top male percentile men, yeah, it's going to be easier to navigate. But the rest of us who aren't within that echelon, like we gotta do a lot of the brunt work, man. Like we probably have it a lot harder than women because the system is now set up to allow the average woman more access into certain institutions and certain places that, you know what I mean, the average man doesn't have access to just because of the fact that he is a man. And I'd say it's even getting worse, or it has gotten worse recently for people within or young adults, you know what I mean? Young adults in general, young adult males. But yeah, man, anyways, I'm just kind of rambling right now. Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Outside of that, it's been a good video. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one.